All right, I am ready. I think my crew are ready as well. Go ahead and open up the door, if you would, please, and let people in. Folks, you are tuning into Daily with Doc, where we have a live presentation that you can come and join us and ask questions of the one, the only Dr. Joel Wallach. Join us here on Zoom at dailywithdoczoom.com. That is Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in Eastern time, that is 3 o'clock your time. If you are 8 hours ahead of us, it's 8 o'clock your time, p.m. So folks, feel free to join us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this show, I am honored, and it is a great privilege to be able to bring to you empowering information. Now, the information you're going to be hearing today changed my life, and that's why I am so insistent and confident in being able to share this information with all of you. If somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them, tell them thank you, and ask them what is your next step to help reach your optimal goals when it comes to your health. And for some, it may also include some financial goals that this program can actually help you with as you are serving a greater purpose, more than just building an income, but actually helping people within your circle of influence and around the world. Because it's not just belly to belly anymore, folks. As we know, since we have Zoom right now, we have the ability to reach anybody and everybody who has an internet connection. That's quite a few people. And it could be you that talks to somebody who talks to somebody who talks to somebody, or speaks with, got to get the grammar thing right, that changes somebody's life in an amazing, spectacular way. So we invite you to join us here on this crusade as we are sharing information about what you can do in your own life with the guidance of Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, we do take questions. So if you are here live with us and you would like to ask some questions, please make sure you find that raise hand option in the Zoom menu. Just click on raise hand and I'll be calling on people in the order that their hands are raised. If you're out on YouTube or Rumble, we do have the amazing AJ Sportis, who is helping keep track of those questions as well. So feel free, ask your questions. There's a lot of people out there that are sharing information. It's hard to know what to believe, who to believe, but until you try it for yourself, folks, you're not going to know how amazing it feels to be on a 90 for Life program. So I definitely invite you to listen up, be a sponge, absorb the information that is shared on today's program, and be ready to think about who you could help, whose life needs what you are hearing today. Now, this program is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. Dailywithdoc.com is a group of independent longevity associates who have a passion for helping people. We are just a small part of a very large community, a large family of people who have that same passion. And we want to make sure that this resource is available to everybody, and make sure that, folks, if you were shared this program with somebody, you get back with the person that shared it with you. Now, the content of this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that the facts that are shared and the statements that are shared on this program have not been validated by the FDA, and our products are not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any specific diseases. But folks, the person that we have with us today has sued that organization 8 times with victories. Those victories have led to the essential addition of nutrients into things like baby food that has had the cause and effect of fewer, greatly reduced amount of SIDS here in the United States, and many, many other different poor health conditions of all ages. So listen up. What?
Muscular dystrophy.
I'm not getting to you yet. Just be patient, sir. Okay. You can say words that I'm not supposed to be able to do because you have that DR in front of your name.
Okay.
I'm just a certified holistic health coach and, director of student services. I don't know that I want that DR label. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. But let's get to today's program. Folks, again, on our program today, you're going to want to take some notes, but Dr. Wallach speaks fast. If you're here live with us, make sure you have that chat open because we have an amazing typist as part of our co-host crew, and she is sharing information and even putting into the chat what Dr. Wallach is going to be recommending for the individuals that ask questions on today's program. Now, because of HIPAA laws, we do not have that as a savable chat. So you can take a snapshot of it or a screenshot of it so that you can take it then to your health coach or the person that shared this program with you and say, hey, this person had a lot of the same things that I had going on. This is what was recommended. Help me get it. Okay. And it also includes the dosing on most of what she types in as well. So be prepared. But if you don't listen as fast as he speaks or take notes as fast as he speaks, we do have our replays on dailywithdoc.com. And that includes the replays going all the way back for 3 years when we started Ask Doc Live. That was just a Friday program. So the fact that we're bringing Dr. Joel Wallach to you Monday through Friday for a whole almost hour is pretty spectacular in meeting a need that people were looking for. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you and bring on with me one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics that proves the genetic theory of disease transmission is incorrect, and we have more control over our health than the medical community wants us to believe. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you, Becca, and thank you, team. It's very exciting time. And again, just briefly to add a few things to what Rebecca said, going back to 63, I discovered the first mass die-off in America from pollution. 500 sheep died in one night. They were healthy, perfectly healthy until that night. Farmer wakes up the next morning, they're all dead. He brought me 50. I was a student working my way through veterinary school as a student employee in the pathology department. And it was Christmas time during 1963, and all the professors were gone. So this farmer dumped 50 dead lambs on me. He said, well, I had 500 healthy ones yesterday. They're all dead this morning. They're all, what? All 500 were dead. Okay, but they're perfectly normal yesterday. They're all jumping in and out of the feed bunks and following the wagons and making their noises and laughing and doing what sheep do. And today they're all dead. I said, well, gosh, let's have a look here. So I opened up the 50 dead lambs and their blood was black, not dark red, but black. I said, do you have other farms around you? He said, yeah, I'm surrounded by farms. I said, what kind of animals? They have none. They all raise grains and hay. And I said, what kind of fertilizer do they use? Well, he said they use nitrate fertilizer. I said, I need some of the water from the pond or the trenches or wherever these sheep are getting their water. So he gives a phone call, and an hour later, one of his employees comes with a bucket of that water from that pond. It had enough nitrates in there to kill 1 million people, okay, because of the runoff from their surrounding farms of the fertilizer. Got it written up. submitted for publication. And Marlon Perkins, the old Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom show, sent me to Africa to work on the white rhino conservation project. That was my first postdoctoral fellowship. I was supposed to find out why all the white rhino were dying. And I've got that figured out. And we established 2 white rhino game parks for them, and I set up everything so they would have permanent water and feed and all that kind of stuff. And I'm prepared to stay in South Africa, the Umfolozi and Shishlui Game Reserve forever. I'm having the time of my life. I delivered my second baby out there myself, in the felts, if you would, in Africa, and it was a great time of my life. And well, Marlon Perkins, he took that paper that I wrote when I was in Africa. He took that paper that I wrote and submitted it and got a $21 million grant from the National Institutes of Health to do a big study, worldwide study. He called me back and said, "You're gonna be the pathologist on this study, Wallach. You don't refuse Marlon Perkins." So I was reluctant, but I came back, and sure enough, over a 10-year period, I did 20,000 autopsies published. It was about 20 different unique publications on diseases that we found out the cause and prevention and cure for. And also found the cause, prevention, and cure for several things. Okay. And this was very exciting. So which I say, it's one of those things where, because of that history and all my things, my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute yet today as a national treasure. It sells for $25,000 each. We do have a summary of that thesis. It sells for $25,000. It's called epigenetics. We started a whole new science of epigenetics to replace the science of genetics. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. Genes, eye color, skin color, hair color, gender, that's it. There are no diseases that are caused by bad genes. That's what doctors would say when they didn't know the answer. They didn't want to say, "I don't know." So they say, "Oh, it's your genes causing the problem." Okay. And so that was kind of exciting. This one sells for $25, not 25,000, but you get the same information. So I urge everybody to have this, at least one of these books in their family. And then I got a job working for the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was only there for a couple of months. I ran into the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. Make a long story short, I found out that it was not genetic, as they said, and one of those birth defects, they said it was genetic. No, simple nutritional deficiency. And they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic. And they said, "Everybody knows it's a genetic." Wallach, you can't say that. And so they fired me. And that's when I went back to school and became a naturopathic physician. I taught nutrition there, and I said, I might as well get the degree. So I started taking courses, and they gave me some credit for some of my basic agricultural sciences and veterinary sciences. And so I was able to get that degree in 3.5 years instead of 4 years. Okay. And so
Dr.
anyway,
Wallach, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this book right here, Primates, talks about that with the
goes over
cystic
the history.
fibrosis, and it's a chapter out of the book Diseases of Exotic Animals.
Yeah, I think it's on page 206 or something like that.
Yeah, you want people to start on page 206.
Yeah,
Right
start
here,
there.
it talks about the cystic
Yeah,
fibrosis.
read that first and then go back to the beginning of the book. But that tells you a lot of stuff that doctors don't know and why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, that book just came out a couple of months ago. Very proud of that. Liddell did a great
Came out
job.
last month.
Oh, a month ago.
Just
Yeah.
last month. And you
Wow.
can get this book at drjwallach.com. It's called
Okay.
Primates.
Okay, now I want to keep going here because I got more exciting news. I'm limited. You're giving that eyeball. Okay. I'm limited in what I can say here, but we know the cause, prevention, and reversal of Alzheimer's disease. We know the cause, prevention, and reversal of, see here, the disease called multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis of the spine is called what?
Guillain-Barré.
Guillain-Barré syndrome. Very good. You get an A+. Okay. And Guillain-Barré syndrome is just MS of the spinal cord, and that's preventable and reversible. We know the mechanism there. And then we also know how to prevent and reverse other brain and neurological diseases, and heart disease and high blood pressure and diabetes and macular degeneration. All this stuff is just nutritional deficiencies. Okay. Now, here comes another one, which I'm not going to mention yet, so you can relax. I'm not going to mention it. Okay, not going to mention it. But we're at the point now where we have some really heavy duty evidence to support our, which I say, not our belief, but our facts, okay, which point a different direction than is the current belief in the medical system. And so we have unimpeachable facts, okay, because it's facts that they collected, okay. They can't say, well, we screwed up for all this time, okay. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we have new information. We're gonna share that here as soon as it's probably within the next couple of weeks. And we're going to take all these diseases, yeah, and you look at somebody like let's see here. Lou
Lou Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig, yeah, Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig disease. Lou Gehrig disease was named after what?
Well, it's ALS.
ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Well, if you know what amyotrophic means, okay, that means the myelin in the brain was trophic, which means was gone. The myelin, the white matter of the brain was gone. Okay. And they gave him 2 years of treatment, the advanced medical treatment. He was a top baseball player, I don't know, for about 15 years. He had more home runs than Babe Ruth and all this kind of stuff. And he died after 2 years of treatment for ALS. Now they renamed it after him, okay, Lou Gehrig's disease, because he was the guy and he was going to, run around and raise money to find the cure. And he died following their treatment before they found the cure. Well, I found the cure. I know what it is, okay, and it's very simple. And we're using that as kind of a kickoff for this other disease we're talking about, which I'm not going to name yet. I'll give you a hint. One of the symptoms of this other disease is pill rolling. People sit there, it's kind of a, which they say it's kind of a tremor, but it's particularly the thumb and the forefinger. So you know that there's a certain part of the brain involved when you get a picture like that. They're sitting there doing this all the time. They're not consciously doing that, but there's a brain telling them to do that. It's called pill rolling, okay? And it's what diagnostic for a particular disease. Well, I know the answer because we now have, through one of our health coaches, access to somebody who had that disease for 14 years, annual physical, 11
11
years,
years.
11
They
years,
had 11-year
annual physical
diagnosis.
for 11 years, okay? Positive, negative. Oh, what? That can't be right. Do it again, negative. Okay, okay, let's see here. We'll see you next year. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye. Okay, well, we're putting all this together. We're going to run it by our attorney. I left a message with the attorney that we're going to be running something by you pretty soon here. So we want your okay on this, get it done correctly, because we're going to eliminate another disease. I'm the guy that eliminated cystic fibrosis. I'm the guy that eliminated muscular dystrophy with Jerry Lewis, one of our great Navy SEALs. Okay, Marvin Ropp. Okay, the three of us actually did the thing with muscular dystrophy. And when Jerry Lewis took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association on Saturday, the 4th of September in 2011, they summarily fired him. Okay, summarily fired Jerry Lewis. They put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything. And then the next day, the 5th of September 2011, they shut down the telethon. And he had raised 2.6 billion, not million, $2.6 billion for the Muscular Dystrophy Association through that telethon, and they killed it the day after they fired Jerry Lewis because they didn't want to hear that we had found the cure. Well, that's what they were raising all this money for, and we actually found it for them. And when we took it to them, they fired Jerry Lewis, shut down the telethon, and it was a big hoo-ha, let me tell you. Well, that's why we're kind of creeping along, getting everything in ducks in a row and so forth. And so we're deciding whether or not, we're going to make this. It's going to be like all discoveries like this. It's going to be a big announcement, big, article, scientific publication, but after that, are we going to add that to one of our existing books? Are we going to have just a separate book for it? We'll make that decision after we talk to our health coaches and our attorneys and so forth, and we'll see which way we're going to do it. But it's going to be a big deal. This is a big deal because every country in the world is going to benefit from this. We are going to save thousands of people a day around the world. Right now, there's 1 million of these patients in America that have this disease. There's 1 million patients that have the disease. There's 50,000 new ones every month, every year. And there's 35,000 die every year from this disease. So just with this information that's coming out here in a few weeks is going to save 1 million people and stop 99% of all new cases. So we're very, very excited about this. We already know the answer, but we have to go through the steps to make sure that we're not stepping on toes and getting ourselves in trouble. But I'm very, very excited. And I cannot thank Rebecca and one of our great health coaches. Can we say her first name? Okay, we're not even gonna say her first name. Okay.
I would love to, because she's done a lot. She's done great, but we can't mention any names, Doc.
Okay, now I have to tell you that I sent Rebecca and this health coach the how to solve this disease problem, and Rebecca recorded it. So there's no doubt what I said when I said it. Okay, I'm the guy who said it. Okay, and this, right? You still have the recording, correct?
Oh, absolutely, Dr. Wallach. But the important thing is because of your recommendations, people are able to feel better outcomes. That's the important part. And that just goes to prove that in all of your research, that when nutrient deficiencies occurred, so did different poor health conditions. Over 600.
Yes. And it's really sad because doctors would always say, this is a genetic thing. This is an autoimmune thing. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. There are no autoimmune diseases. As soon as they say that, you should excuse yourself and say, I need to see another doctor for another opinion. Bye. Oh, by the way, don't bill me because I won't pay it.
Well, unfortunately, it's not quite that easy, Dr. Wallach. But folks, let's go ahead, and we have so many questions that are coming in, whether it's here on YouTube, here in the Zoom room, through people signing up for our newsletter and submitting their questions there, and also going to dailywithdoc.com using that contact option from the menu and submitting us an email with their questions there. So I want to make sure that we get through those, and it's not all about quantity, it is about quality. We want to make sure that because everybody is unique and special to us, that they get the time deserved. But my first question, Dr. Wallach, is coming off of YouTube. And this individual's, I think, sister or niece, was told by their midwife that coming close to the end of pregnancy for labor to stop taking essential fatty acids. Now, I know essential fatty acids are nature's blood cleaner, blood thinner, but what would be your response to stop taking them altogether?
Well, that would be like saying, stop taking oxygen.
Okay.
That's how incorrect that statement is. Okay, essential fatty acids, by their very nature, are essential. Okay. And they not only prevent blood clotting, but they also sustain the health of the cell wall of every cell in your body, whether it's a nerve cell or heart cell or kidney cell, muscle cell, intestinal wall cell. They all require that essential fatty acids so that good things, food can get in and the bad waste products can get out. It actually helps with the function of cell walls. It's more than just, blood thinner. And so any doctor to say, oh, you can stop taking the essential fatty acids, why on earth would anybody do that? That's kind of like saying, I know you're an athlete and everything, but you can't have oxygen anymore.
So after birth, there is quite a bit of bleeding. We don't want to have an excessive amount. So can taking the EFAs create that excessive amount where there's no clotting?
Okay, here's the secret. You have to take all 90 essential nutrients. You can't say, well, I'm just gonna eat well, I'm gonna take a lot of this. That's not how it works. You take a lot of everything. You don't take a lot of just this and just eat well. to get all the other stuff you need. They tried that for a long time, and they had all these birth defects and everything. And as soon as Jonathan Emord, our great attorney, and I sued the FDA in federal court 8 times, we prevailed. And doctors were standing in the way. They're saying, you can't put those vitamins and minerals into baby formulas like Enfamil and Similac because it'll cause the babies to die. They're poisonous. Where are they getting this stuff? Okay. So that's why we sued them in federal court. There you go. Okay. And it took 35 years because they fired me over that. Okay. And so 35 years later, I get the Klaus Schwarz Award, and that's Dr. Gerhard Schrausser, the world's expert in trace minerals, particularly selenium, putting the gold medal on me for the Klaus Schwarz Award. I was breathless because to have him personally put that on me, that's like being an angel of God and having God to come and have a cup of coffee with you. Okay. It's like, holy moly. Okay. To have this guy personally present that gold medal on me, I don't know what to say. He was a champion, and he always did what was right. And he was a professor at many universities, including the University of California. And he was really one of the most intelligent men I ever knew when it came to biochemistry. He could repeat everything for every trace mineral, every nutrient, and so forth, and every biological process and every cell in the body. It was just, he had a brain that was unbelievable. So to have him actually, and he and Barry Commoner from head of the Department of Biology at Washington University, and let's see here.
In Missouri, not Washington.
Yeah, it's Washington University in Missouri, right? It's like Washington, the president, not Washington State. Okay. And then, of course, the director of the St. Louis Zoo and the head of the TV program, okay, Marlon Perkins, they got that grant, that $21 million grant, okay, that and they called me back from Africa to be the pathologist on that product. That was a big deal, okay. That was a big deal, okay, for 1966, okay, I believe it was 66 or 67, okay. And just think about that amount of money in 1966, 1967, that was more money than most countries had for an annual budget, okay. And so that was a big deal. That was a big deal. And so I was just so honored and proud that they remembered me. But they did use that publication. That was my first scientific publication I wrote when the 500 sheep died. And, I'm just a 23-year-old student trying to work my way through school. And I get these 50 dead lambs dumped on me. And that was the beginning of all this. Okay.
Well, Dr. Wallach, people can actually find that award that was presented unto you. They've made up a nice little pamphlet of it, and it's a download that they can find. I know it's on the wallachfiles.com, which is your official promotion website that goes through and lists all of your.
Yeah, it's in the Wallach Revolution. It's in epigenetics. It's in
No, I'm talking about a physical download that they can look at, Dr. Wallach. That is the award itself, and all of the information and the supporting documentations on how and why you deserved to get that. So on drjwallach.com, I believe there's also a spot where you can get a link to that document and be able to save it or print it. It's definitely something, Dr. Wallach, that we don't want anybody to forget who you are because of all the work that you have done when it comes to minerals, especially the mineral of selenium.
Okay, and so also that award and the paragraph or two that goes along with that, a picture of
it will be in.
It's going to be in here. Yeah, it's going to be in here. The picture, that same picture, is going to be in the overhead presentation.
PowerPoint presentation that can be put on the big screen. Yes.
Whatever you want to call it. Okay, great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And then the next question that's coming up, Dr. Wallach, and it has to do with a condition called poor me syndrome, that is a form of depression, or it is depression actually, that is killing people. And they talk a lot about having a single nutrient called lithium orotate as part of being the cause of that syndrome. So again, we were just talking about individual nutrients, and it's not all about individual nutrients, but when there is a deficiency of something, then conditions like this occur. So Dr. Wallach, if you were working with somebody who's 150 pounds dealing with depression, what would you recommend?
Okay, basically they need to get rid of all the bad foods. That includes their environment, the people they live with, okay? People they hang out with. No fried foods, no processed meats, no bacon, ham, bologna, salami, hot dogs, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, all that stuff's got to go. No oils, no olive oil, no salad dressings, no cooking oils. Now, if you want to eat olives, that's fine. Pull them off the tree and eat them. That's good. But olive oil in a bottle has been sitting on a shelf in a garage for 2 months or 6 years or whatever it is, in the heat and all that. You don't want to be drinking that. That'll cause all kinds of problems. Okay. Then you also need to stay away from gluten so they can absorb. That includes beer, unless it's beer from Japan and China and Australia, which is made from rice. Most beer in America and North America and Canada and everything is made from wheat. Okay, it's another source of gluten. No buckwheat. Now, there's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has phagopyrines in it, which are 10 times worse than gluten. So it's destroying your intestines. No sugar, no carbonated drinks. Okay, that means no, even the soft drinks. Okay, the diet drinks, and also carbonated water. I actually had one guy ask me this morning, you mean I can't have water? No, you have to have water, but not carbonated water. Okay, you can't have bubbly water. Okay, it's got to be just water. Okay. Because the bubbles, okay, neutralize the stomach acid. You cannot absorb minerals or digest food without stomach acid. The good Lord gave us the equipment in our stomach to make stomach acid so we could digest food and absorb minerals. You start taking the bubbly stuff, okay, the carbonated waters and carbonated drinks, suddenly now that's all diluted and neutralized, so you can't use it anymore. You're going to have a lot of problems. Well, I eat well. Why am I having all these problems? Well, that's because you're drinking all these diet drinks. Okay, don't do it anymore. And then that's why we have our rebound. We have 2 forms of rebound with no bubbly in it. We have the sticks. We have boxes of 30 sticks it has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins and amino acids. We have the canister with 36 servings in the canister of rebound. We do have the cans, but you have to pop the tops on the cans the night before you're going to drink them, put them in the refrigerator, drink them the next day when they're flat. Okay, don't just pop the tops and drink them. You won't, over time, it's going to not do you good. Okay, now, it's also one of those things where I want them to have at 150 pounds, right?
Yes, let's go for 150 pounds.
150
No
pounds,
other health concerns.
2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay, I weigh 142 and I have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Take a full dose at breakfast, full dose at dinner time. Then 2 bottles a month of the MSM to take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch or dinner time. Okay, that's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone rings, bone itself, including the skull. Very important. Don't forget the book. It's all in your head, which includes depression. Okay, and then you want to also get away. Oh, excuse me. You also want to, after the MSM, you also want to take the collagen peptides, take a scoop of that with the morning drink, scoop of that the evening drink, to help again rebuild cell walls and skin and tendons and ligaments and bone marrow and all that kind of stuff. Very important for the immune system. And then, because this is a brain problem, okay, depression, I want them to make sure that they're getting our Synaptive. They can take 3 Synaptive twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month of our Synaptive. That's going to let the brain cells talk to each other, and the brain cells talk to the spinal cord talk to the brain cells. And then my favorite, I mean, I'm getting so much positive feedback on this one, okay, and that is the I-26. I mean, I have people with a dozen different problems in the central nervous system, okay, and you name it. and they're getting results in 3 days, a week, or 2 weeks. It's just like crazy how well they're responding, because again, the I-26 is what's missing when you have Alzheimer's disease, when you have muscular dystrophy, when you have Guillain-Barré syndrome, when you have FTD, frontal temporal dementia, which is kind of a new category of a dementia that's involving the front of the brain, the side of the brain. Okay, because when they looked at Alzheimer's disease, it's kind of like not uniform all over the whole brain, it's patches. And so Alzheimer's disease, had different variations and this, that, and the other, always confusing the doctors. And so we're going to come out with a production here, and whether it's going to be added to It's All in Your Head, where we have just a thing for soft tissue added to the book It's All in Your Head for soft tissue for about a dozen different diseases, including this new one we're talking about. Or maybe we'll just do a separate book about the same size. It's All in Your Head, and so we'll have a set of 2 books, one for the skull and vertebrae, and the other one for soft tissue in the brain and spinal cord. So we'll make that determination after we get approval for this and so forth. I'm very excited. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to save millions of people. Right now, we have 1 million people with this disease we're talking about in America alone. We have 50,000 new ones a year in America alone. And we have 35,000 each year in America alone die from this disease. And just by employing this knowledge, adding this to our program is going to be an add-on. Okay, it's just like the synaptive, just like I-26. I don't say throw away all your vitamins and minerals, just take I-26. I-26 is to be added to a complete program. And that's why it works so well, okay? Because you have to support all the other stuff going on, as well as what we call the secret sauce to deal with the featured question, okay? But you just can't take that secret sauce by itself and leave out the 90 essential nutrients. That's a no-no.
Right. Now, Dr. Wallach, our next question is coming from a gentleman. He's 73 years old, 140 pounds, 5'7.5". He has no medical diagnoses, but his main concerns are migraine headaches and low libido. He also does have muscle cramping. He's got some damage to the tendons, the ligaments. He's got some gum issues. He has blood pressure issues, numbness and tingling in the feet and hands. So the blood pressure issues are not diagnosed. Memory and focus concerns, of course, low libido, and occasionally has hemorrhoids. He craves carbohydrates moderately, not tremendously, but he's always tired, always anxious, and does have some minor concerns when it comes to allergies and digestive issues.
Okay, well,
And
he's
also
got
foot
like
fungus.
14 different problems here because he's doing everything wrong. He's doing everything wrong. I haven't heard one correct thing coming out of his mouth yet. Okay.
Well, these are just things that are a result of what he's currently doing. So
I
what
know
would you recommend to
he's
help
doing
him get
everything
on a
wrong.
better path?
Okay, he's doing everything wrong. If he wants to live a nice, healthful life and add 25 years to his life, he better listen, because any one of these things that he's describing there can be a source of serious incapacitation and or death. Okay, so get rid of the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and also carbonated water. Okay, and then he needs to, at his body weight, 140 pounds. I'm going to have, he weighed 48 or whatever it is, 140, 148
pounds.
Yeah, he weighs about the same I do. He needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose having twice a day. He needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself, including the skull. Okay, and then he needs, let's see here, I would also throw in vitamin D3, some extra vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, help absorb all these minerals and put them in the right places. Then I want him to have, let's see here, the synaptive. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day so the brain cells can talk to each other. And the spinal cord, I want him to take the I-26 so the brain cells can talk to each other and the spinal cord. And then I want him to have, let's see here, our Zera test for his sexual concerns. I want him to take our Zera test. He needs to take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month of the Zera test. Okay. That's not by itself, but that's in addition to everything else. He wants it to work. And then let's see here. If I didn't say it, he needs the I-26. He needs 3 of those twice a day. It wouldn't hurt to take 3 times a day with his problems. Okay. And then the high blood pressure, I'm going to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. He can take 3 of those at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That'll be 3 bottles a month. Okay. Okay. The Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And then I also, because he has ALS, okay, he said ALS, right?
No, he did not. Not on this one.
Okay.
So his migraines are his major concern,
Okay.
and
Well,
low libido.
that's where the synaptive and the see,
The
again,
Zera
the
test.
I-26. Oh, AL. I have ALS on here. I think I got that list. I don't know why. Okay. But anyway,
He has many of the symptoms, or some of the symptoms, but no diagnoses for it, Dr. Wallach.
okay. All right. But anyway, then I also want him to drink 2 or 3 of our servings a day of a Rebound. If he's going to use the cans, you got to pop the tops at night, so and drink them the next day, so that there's no carbonation in them. But we do have the sticks, no carbonation. There's 30 sticks in the box. We do have the canister. There's 36 servings in the canister. There's no carbonation there. And so we've covered, I think, most of his issues. Okay.
Yeah, I think you got it. I think you
Okay.
got it.
Well, he needs to get back with us in 2 weeks and so forth. He can start getting rid of the bad foods right now. And when you get rid of the bad foods, you'll save hundreds of dollars a month, because bad foods are expensive. Bad foods cost a lot of money. And so if you save that money, then it sort of washes most of the cost of these supplements. So it's not like you're adding more cost to you're eliminating the cost of the bad stuff, which allows you to utilize that money for something good. Okay.
Right. Absolutely. So let's go to the hand that is up here with us, Dr. Wallach and Ryan. Go ahead and why can I not? It's not giving me the option to unmute. There we go. Ryan, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, we only have a few moments here, so he
Yep.
needs to get on it.
Ryan, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
All right, how may we help you today, Ryan?
An update. My hypothyroidism. My hypothyroidism seems to have gotten better, as well as my hypoglycemia. So thank you for the supplements.
Okay.
Number 2. My doctor didn't want to give me an H. pylori test because I've been taking famotidine and acids for my burning stomach. So I don't know if I have H. pylori. I don't know if I have an ulcer. I'm scheduled to go to a gastrologist. I'm not sure what I should do.
Okay, well, if you have insurance, it doesn't hurt to go to the gastrologist and let them do the tests and find out what's going on in there, because if you have something going on because of an infection, you want to get an antibiotic of some kind to kill the infection. But it wouldn't hurt, okay, to take our digestive program, our enzymes, okay, our ultimate enzymes. Okay, our ultimate enzymes, okay, call it it's a gallbladder in a bottle. It'll help you absorb stuff. It'll help your gallbladder absorb the healthy essential fatty acids, so you can utilize them. But also it's going to help you absorb minerals, and digest food. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle because we do put bile in it from the gallbladders of cattle that are killed, okay, at the slaughterhouses. And so there's a gallbladder in a bottle, but ultimate enzymes, I only weigh 142, and I take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. I take 2 or 3 at breakfast and 2 or 3 at dinner time. I don't have any problems. If I had problems, I'd take it 3 times a day. Okay.
All
Would I
right,
take?
that is
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, keep us informed when you get your test.
that is some good news, Ryan. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. Dr. Wallach, let's go to, I know Hattie had her hand up here. Is Hattie still with us? Hattie, go ahead and unmute yourself. Nope. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and go to the next question.
Becca, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
I lowered my hand because you said I thought you wasn't going to have no more people, and I apologize. So, but I think anyway, Dr. Wallach, I'm doing a 5-minute thing this afternoon on oils. And I was listening to a video that you made around saturated and unsaturated oils. And then someone said to me, well, Hattie, all of the good oils, like avocados, because avocados are good for you, bananas, fruits are good for you, yada, yada, yada. But what I got from you was the oils in our fruits, right, are saturated oils with a low, no, they're unsaturated fats with a low molecule level, which
Okay.
makes them.
Let me clarify things because you're mixing people up here. Okay.
Good. That's
Okay.
why I called you.
So basically, you need the essential fatty acids, which are unsaturated. Okay. And so that's why we have the let's see here, the EFAs, the EFA pluses, call them gallbladder in a bottle. And I take 3 of those, 3 of each twice a day. Okay. 3 of the EFAs and 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day. And I'm, like I say, I only weigh 142 pounds. So I'm taking enough for a 200-pound, 250-pound person. And you need these things. Okay. And so I'm not depending on my body getting everything it needs to make them. I'm going to give my body. It's just like you don't just throw dirt from Texas in your car and hope the car can make gasoline and oil and that kind of stuff. You put high quality gasoline in your car. You put brake fluid in there. You put stuff in your radiator to prevent the engine from overheating and all that kind of stuff. And so if you treat yourself as well as you treat your car, you'll add 25 years to your life. If you just quote, eat well and take once, well, I take a lot of calcium. What about the other 89 nutrients you need? Okay. Well, my doctor said I can get everything I need from just eating well. Well, your doctor is not telling you the truth. That is not true. Plants do not make minerals. They only need 3. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Is gold, or let me back up, are gold and silver found everywhere? No, there's veins. Well, are essential minerals found everywhere? No, there's veins. And so the only way you're going to guarantee that everybody in your family, regardless of where they live or what they do, if they're going to get all 90 essential nutrients, is to consciously put them in your mouth. Okay. And so this is why we have so many trouble. I get so many people from the military calling me, okay, because they spend a lot of time in the military and you know, they trust me because I went through the same thing they went through. And even the military doctors are just giving them, okay, just here, take some calcium. That's not the correct thing to do. Okay. Oh, take some more vitamin C. Oh, that's not the correct thing to do. Well, that'll get rid of scurvy. But what about, you know, the other 599 diseases you're going to be confronted with? Okay. And now, of course, that's why they call the British limeys. Now, they didn't know why, but they knew when they ate limes and drank lime juice, they didn't get scurvy. And so everybody in the British Navy ate limes and drank lime juice, and that's why they were called limeys. Medical doctors don't even know that, okay, why they're called limeys. Maybe they lived in a place where they had a lime, you know, a lime, which is minerals found in the ground. No, it was because they were drinking lime juice and eating limes.
Well, Dr. Wallach, it is our goal to make sure that more and more people hear the importance of supplementation, folks, because it is not in our food. And there are over 600 different poor health conditions that are directly linked to nutritional deficiencies. And there's 90 essential nutrients. 2/3 of them are minerals. And then you have your vitamins, your amino
60 out of
acids.
90, 60 out of 90 are minerals. Plants
Yes.
only need 3, you need 60.
That's right. So I'm going to get all 60, but I'm going to go, I'm an overachiever, Dr. Wallach. I go for more than 212 like you do, a couple times a day. But that's our freedom of choice.
That's correct.
We can choose to have a life of
See,
pain.
I had to know why somebody who's 300 years old looks like you're 25.
You're so sweet. I'm kicking you out. Have a wonderful radio program, Dr. Wallach. Thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Folks, there is so much that you can do on your own. You do not need to have the permission of a doctor in order to be able to help yourself. So we encourage you to take this time and invest in yourself. You've invested the time. Now it's time to invest in what is nutritionally needed to make a difference and take some action. If I could have those that are taking action come on with me, and those are my co-hosts for today. We have Marilyn Pizzera-Spear and AJ, both doing a fantastic job at making sure that people are getting the information that they need in order to help themselves. So if I could get somebody to put Dr. Wallach in the waiting room so that our talk doesn't interfere with his radio, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. But I just want to do a shout out to each and every one of you. I mean, Marilyn has some incredible typing skills. She's a researcher. She loves health. She loves people. And I'm sure she's not the only one in this world, but I cherish her. And if you have skills like that, get back with the person that invited you to watch this program and say, hey, you know, I have some skills that I would like to use for a greater good or a greater purpose. Love you. And folks, this is amazing. It's Dr. Wallach talks about getting phone calls from different people all day long, and he really does. He really does. I'm trying to have a conversation with him, trying to make some decisions, and his phone rings and he picks it up. That's how important it is that he speaks with people that are reaching out for his knowledge and recommendations. And there are a lot of people that are doing three-way calls. We have some amazing coaches that are able to use the information that they have learned through the Certified Holistic Health Coach course that gives us the knowledge that Dr. Wallach has provided in a structure that we are able to plug into on our own time, glean that information, and take some tests and become a certified holistic health coach where we can confidently say, yes, you're reaching out for help. I have the resources that are needed to make sure that you get what you need to reach a healthier journey when it comes to life. If you'd like more information about that program, go to coachwithbecca.com, or especially if you were invited by this program, get back with the person that shared this program with you, as they may have their own link for information about that program. And we also have AJ, who is helping me on the whole technical inside of it. He is also managing the Facebook and Rumble and YouTube for the great, amazing people out there. And yeah, for those of you who are not aware, okay, beer is carbonated, okay? And most of it comes from wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No, mostly wheat or barley. So drop the beer, find a different source. If it's something you really think that you need, but if it's something that you're craving, it's probably because of a nutritional deficiency. And yeah, Dr. Wallach's program helps with those too. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But thank you so much to my crew today. And thank you for taking the time to join us. Share it with somebody. If you have not already clicked that subscribe and like and share, this is your invitation to do so, because there is somebody out there waiting to hear information, and you can be an important part of helping them in finding what they're looking for. My name is Becca Dukes. Again, if you have any questions, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is nobody to thank, feel free to go to dailywithdoc.com and use that contact us. Subscribe to our newsletter. I don't sell my list. We don't even bombard you with a bunch of emails, but we do provide information on the replays of our programming with descriptions, and we're getting ready to put together an actual newsletter that's going to be sending out some useful articles that give you even more knowledge on what you yourself as an empowered individual can do to help improve your life and your financial life, whether it's physical, financial, emotional, all of these above. You have some power. Find it, use it. And until next time, bye for now.